ahead and grab your water. I'm going to get ready because I am making some food tonight, and it is going to be so yummy. If you're watching this later on YouTube, again, it's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. When the apron goes on, the fun begins. So if you need to divide this up, so like if you're watching this on YouTube and you think, yeah, I don't really need the classroom portion again, but what was it that she made? You can always find the second half, the portion with the food, by looking for the apron going on. Casey does divide these up, and she will post the entire chat as 1 hour long video, and then the second half is a 30-minute video, and it's usually the fun portion. So tonight, for our fun, we're going to spend this next month, so today and the rest of September, we're going to talk about hashtag bulk it up. So how many of you all have been around long enough that you've heard me say hashtag bulk it up? And then how many of you all that remember the hashtag bulk it up, remember that little sign that I used to hold up when we did the chats from home? There was a little sign that I had stuck on I think I had it stuck on like a straw or something. Marianne remembers them, on a straw, and I would flip the little signs around. Well, hashtag bulk it up is one of my favorites, only seconded by hashtag purse check, and Lynn's been around that long. So hashtag bulk it up tonight, and then the rest of September, and Sandra tonight, and Susie tonight, and Carol Lou tonight, and then the rest of September, we're going to be talking about hashtag bulking it up, and here's why. So we have all enjoyed our summer fruits and veggies. We have all enjoyed the plethora of things coming out of people's gardens or our own gardens, farmers markets, fresh produce in grocery stores. I mean, I'm sorry, things are just fresher. You know, there are fruits and vegetables that are in season in the fall, and some of them going into the winter, but for the most part, the bulk of it is in the spring and summer. Okay, so as summer is winding down and it is coming to an end, I know my mind is already starting to move a little bit away from some of the fresher things, and I just don't want to forget about bulking it up. So when everything is plentiful, when there's lots of zucchini and squash and cucumbers and peppers and, you know, all that kind of stuff coming out of the garden, corn, tomatoes, things like that, I have eaten so many vegetables this summer that I am to within, I'm to within 8 pounds of goal. So I had been at almost 20 pounds over goal because of stupid COVID. You know, I had to stop walking as much, had to stop going to the gym that I was going to, kind of limited, you know, what and where we could eat, you know, for a little while. And, you know, just to be honest, I mean, I had my panties in a wad about it. But since I've been back on the fresh fruit and veggie kick, you know, I've lost, what would that be, 12 of the almost 20 pounds. I don't want to lose this momentum, and I don't want you all to lose this momentum either. So we're going to be talking about, oh, and Debbie's already done her homework. We're going to be talking, and we don't even have a badge yet. Casey hasn't even made the badge yet. So Debbie, please remind me to come back around, circle back around to this when we get the badge. But anyway, so we're going to be talking about bulking it up, about hashtag bulking it up. And tonight's edition is the Taco Tuesday edition. So I don't know about you, but I love tacos, and I love Taco Tuesday. Oops, and I left something sitting over here. Hold on a second. I left one thing out. I love tacos. I love Taco Tuesday, Taco Wednesday, Taco Thursday, Taco Friday. Yeah, I would have tacos any day of the week. But I'm going to show you how to take something that's that simple, you know, and then hashtag bulk it up. So when you talk about tacos, one of the first things that people talk about, you know, when you think about tacos, you think about either ground beef, or like shredded chicken, or pork, or carnitas, or barbacoa, or some kind of protein. So the first thing I want you to do before we even, and Melinda had tacos for supper. So before we even talk about bulking it up, I want to talk about the protein, whatever protein you're going to use. So the first thing I wanted you to do, shrimp. Oh yeah, that's a great idea, Barbara. Yes, I'm on board. You know, or fish tacos. Hadn't even thought about that. But talk about a protein. So for your protein, you could use things like, Barbara just said shrimp. Sandra says ground turkey. I'm going to say I picked up some Gardein ground beef at the store today. And it's funny because I never noticed that they spelled it B-E''F, Beth, but F. Yep. Carol says tofu tacos. I was thinking about those today too. So this is a plant-based ground beef that, and y'all are going to ask me what it's made out of. This is textured soy protein. You can also get and you don't have to get meatless anything, but you can get pea protein. There are lots of different, meatless alternatives, but I do like tofu, just like Carol said. I love ground beef alternatives. These are different. Ooh, and Barbara says all vegetable tacos. That sounds good too. But I do want you to pick some kind of protein. The protein could be some kind of meat replacement. It could be chicken. It could be ground turkey. Again, it could be any of those things, but you need to pick some kind of a protein. And Sylvia, no, this is no fewer points. So this is, well, it's fewer points than red meat, but this is no fewer points. So most of the meatless alternatives that I use, Carol Lou, roasted veggie tacos sound good too. So now I'm going to do that too. Most of the meatless alternatives that I use are the equivalent or near equivalent points of their meat buddies that you might eat. They're just plant-based instead of having meat, so they don't have all the saturated fat and things like that it can have. But this is a little bit less points than like red meat, but this would not be any less points than ground chicken or ground turkey. Okay, so you need to pick a protein. Okay, then the next thing you want to do is pick a carb. So for those of you that are doing lower carb, something like that, like a lower carb. Hold on, I didn't put this in my bowl. Oh, please. But let me talk while I'm doing this. So for those of you that are doing a lower carb alternative, like you're doing a low carb plan, you still need to pick a carb. Just pick a complex carb. And I'm going to tell you that I think it's important that you include some carbs in what you're doing. Carbs don't necessarily mean bread. Remember, fruits and vegetables can have carbs in them. It doesn't just have to be bread. It could be quinoa. It could be, it could be any number of things that are a carb. I'm going to do, for my carbs, I'm going to pick a 0-point carb for me. So beans and corn are 0 points for me right now. So I'm going to put some corn in here. So that's going to be a good carb. I'm just going to put about a half a cup of corn in here. And I'm putting all of these in one of those half bowls that I like so much. You can do this however you want to. But I personally love, I love the presentation of these little half bowls. Everything just maybe it's because it feels like it's fuller when I use one of the half bowls. But then I'm also, for one of my carbs, for another carb, beans are 0 points for me, and these are fat-free. So these are fat-free refried beans. And Sylvia, sorry, if Sylvia is here, what is the brand? What is the brand of the refried beans that you said were so good? So Sylvia was going on and on and on about some last week, and I forgot to write that name down. And if you've never done this before, this is an ice cream scoop. An ice cream, here, watch how easy that was. So most ice cream scoops are 1/4 of a cup. So even if beans are not a 0-point food for you, if you need Rosarita. Okay, so Sylvia said the brand name of the refried beans that she likes so much is Rosarita. I did not look for any because I already had some refried beans, but I'll be checking those out. Now, are they fat-free, Sylvia? Can you get Rosarita fat-free refried beans? You can also get fat-free. These are like refried pinto beans. And you can also get refried black beans. But an ice cream scoop, I'm going to circle back around, Kelly. An ice cream scoop is a 1/4 of a cup. So like a normal ice cream scoop is a 1/4 of a cup. And if you aren't sure if yours is a 1/4 of a cup, fill it up with water, pour the water into a measuring cup, and see how much it is. But this one is a 1/4 of a cup. And refried beans, oh yeah, Sylvia says you can. She says Rosarita's is fat-free, and you can get fat-free refried black beans too. And then look how easy. Oh, come on, now you're gonna make a liar out of me. I cannot believe this thing just did this. Here we go. Okay. The little thing wasn't back all the way. Oh, good idea. Debbie says, and that's a great idea. Debbie says she uses an ice cream scoop to put her refried beans into the silicone cups to freeze them. that is a fantastic idea. And that's 1/4 of a cup. So if beans are not a 0 point food for you, you can totally do that. You know, measure out 1/4 of a cup. And it's a good amount. Can you see that? That's 1/4 of a cup of refried, fat-free refried beans. Okay, so I've got a protein. The protein that I used is Gardein plant-based ground beef. I picked a carb, and the carb that I picked is corn and refried beans. Then you want to pick 2 0-point foods. So I'm just going to say I double dipped. Oh no, Melinda says you can hopefully trick your mind that it is a scoop of ice cream you are putting into your taco mix. Sure, we'll work on that. Then I had picked 2 0-point foods. So I kind of cheated on that one because refried beans and corn are both 0-point foods for me. So I'll let my carbs and my pick 2 0-point foods, I'll let 2 things take care of that. The next thing though is you want to pick 2 cups of non-starchy veggies. So I've already started, when we're bulking it up, instead of just having tacos. So instead of just having whatever I'm going to make my protein with, like my taco meat, or if it's going to be chicken, or if it's going to be tofu or something like that, instead of just having that, we've already bulked it up a little bit with a carb, and I double dipped on that and did a carb that is also a 0-point food for me. But you could do, like for the carbs, you could do quinoa, you could do whole wheat rice, you know, and you could double dip on that too. Then you want to do some non-starchy veggies. And I'll tell you why here in a second. And if you don't know why, you've not been paying attention. So you want to do some non-starchy veggies. Bye, Sherry. And I'm going to start with some riced cauliflower. I don't know if you have used riced cauliflower, but it's great for making like those Chipotle, like Chipotle has those power bowls. It's great for those. It's great for the Chipotle power bowls. And we're going to put this in the microwave. I'm not putting this frozen in my bowl. But riced cauliflower, it really does have the consistency of rice if you'll make it with something. I'm not talking about just, you know, dumping in the rice. To my riced cauliflower, though, I'm going to add some diced tomatoes. And I drained them a little bit so that they wouldn't have quite so much liquid in them. But I'm going to add some diced tomatoes, and then I'm going to add some seasoning. And I had in my pantry, okay, so all of this that I selected, I already had the corn, I already had the refried beans. So, you know, I've also been talking a lot about using up what you've got in your pantry. I already had the corn, I already had the refried beans, I already had the riced cauliflower in the freezer, I already had the can of tomatoes, I already had this. You're going to want to use some kind of seasoning. This is Frontera's 3 citrus garlic marinade with cilantro. This sounded fantastic for a taco seasoning. This is not 0 points. It is, yummy, yummy, yummy. It is not 0 points, but it's also not that many points. So we're going to go ahead and stir that in there, and then we're just going to stick this in the microwave just long enough for all of this to kind of meld together. So let's stick this in the microwave for a couple of minutes. So this is a cold salad, so I don't necessarily want it to be, ooh, Caroline, you need to try it. So Caroline says she hasn't tried cauliflower rice yet, but she has it in the freezer. Yeah, you definitely need to try it because it is fantastic. But okay, this is a cold salad, so I'm not trying to heat that up like to the point of being hot, but I want to get all that blended and mixed together. So again, it's a bag of riced cauliflower. It's 1 can of diced tomatoes, and I went ahead and drained them. You could use some Rotel if you wanted to, but I used what I already had in my pantry. And then I used 1 pack of Frontera roasted garlic marinade with cilantro because that just sounded good as a taco. And then we're going to keep bulking it up. We're going to keep #bulking it up while that's cooking. So I'm going to add a cup of butter lettuce. So I'm going to get, this is a little more than a cup of butter lettuce in there. The reason that we're bulking it up with non-starchy veggies though is, and everybody should know, hello Victoria, everybody should know the answer to this question. So why are we bulking this up with 0 point non-starchy veggies? Anybody? Anybody? And you should all know the answer to this question. Then to that, I'm going to add, because we're continuing, even though this is the hashtag Bulk It Up Taco Tuesday edition, I am continuing to use up what we already have in the refrigerator and the pantry and everywhere else. These are the leftover peppers from, what was it, a week or two ago? Yep, that's exactly right, Barbara. You get points back. So these are leftover peppers from a couple of weeks ago when we did the stuffed peppers. That's also right. Caroline says because it's more filling. That is also right. Yep, Evie says you add back more points to use. That is also right. So for every cup, in case you didn't know this, in case you're new, or if you just, forgot, or if you just needed a refresher, for every cup of non-starchy vegetables that you add back 1 point. So we already have 1 cup, and this is non-starchy vegetables. We already have 1 cup of butter lettuce in here. We're going to add, this is going to be more than a cup, but we're going to call it 1 cup of leftover peppers. And again, this is just the rings. This is where I trimmed the peppers. What was it? I think it was 2 weeks ago when we did the stuffed peppers. Ooh, yeah, Debbie says all those veggies have fiber too, natural fiber. She's exactly right about that. Okay, let's see how this is coming along. Well, it smells good, if nothing else. So again, this is cauliflower rice, or riced cauliflower, diced tomatoes, and then that Frontera sauce. We're gonna have to cook it heat it up for just another minute or two. The rice is still a little bit frozen. If you don't take your granddaughter and daughter to a play a couple of hours before the chat starts, then you don't have to worry about your cauliflower rice being frozen. But we did not get back in time for me to take everything out and let it thaw. Ooh, it smells so good. Okay, let's put this back in for just a minute. Okay, so we have the protein. So I picked a protein. I chose a meatless plant-based ground crumble. And the play was really good, Barbara. Thank you. It's a children's play here in Knoxville, and they have Alyssa's already asking us, or she took the little flyer to make sure that we knew when the next one was. And yes, Debbie, she did. She really did. And again, she took the flyer because she wanted to make sure that we knew when the next one was going to be. So I picked a protein. And so the protein that I picked was a plant-based ground beef. I picked 2 carbs. You can pick 1 carb, but pick a carb. I picked 2 carbs that also happen to be 0 points for me. So I picked corn and refried beans, because beans are 0 for me. Then I'm adding back a point. So the amount of meat that I put in here is 3 points, but I just added back a point for putting in a cup of lettuce. I'm also going to add this cup of peppers, and the bonus on the peppers is that they came, and I'm eating the peppers raw because I love raw peppers. If you would prefer that they were cooked, you can certainly do that. Man, I love raw peppers. Okay, so there is that. So now I've added back 2 points. So all of a sudden, I'm down to 1 point because the corn is 0 for me and the beans are 0 for me. The meat was 3, but I'm back down to 1 point because I've added 2 cups of non-starchy veggies. Ooh, yeah, this smells so good. And you could use any kind of seasoning. You don't have to use, you don't have to use something like the Frontera. You can use any kind of seasoning. And it didn't even have to be something liquidy. Okay, now I'm going to add some, wow, gosh. Whew, can you smell that? Ooh, okay, Debbie says also that's 12.5 grams of protein on the refried beans. That is good to know. That is super good to know. I'm just going to taste that. Okay, so I'm going to add about a half a cup of the cauliflower. This is the riced cauliflower. I get to lick my fingers because it's just me eating this and no one else. Okay, so now I've added about a half a cup of riced cauliflower with diced tomatoes. I've added that to this. So now I have 3 points for me, 0 points for me, 0 points for me, add back 2 points, not technically add back a half a point because it's only, a half a cup, but let's just say I've added back 2.5 and I'm running out of room on this plate. Okay, so here is why. This is why on your Taco Tuesday that you want to hashtag bulk it up. A, look how big that is. This is huge. I mean, look how big this plate is. This is absolutely huge if you just wanted to eat it like it is. But adding back the points, now if I wanted to do this, I could put them on tortillas. Because now I have plenty of points that if I wanted to mix this up and put it on tortillas, I could. And Melinda's exactly right. You could totally split this up and use it for 2 meals. Yeah, because you would be. Yeah, she said you would be stuffed for the day. You really would be. I mean, it's 7 till 9 o'clock here. So I'll not be doing that, tonight. But you can totally do that. You could make this into 2 meals. You could put it on some tortillas. You could put it in taco shells. So, I mean, these little carb counter tortillas, these are so low points that I could have all of this plus, I don't even know how many of these, gosh, 4 of these, and I would still have it under 5 points. Debbie snuck in and looked. I can add some real cheese. So this is 2 tablespoons or 1/8 of a cup of real cheese, of real Tillamook cheese. And guess what? I've added back enough points that I am going to add the real cheese on there, okay? So, yeah, that's going to be actual, real, fantastic cheese. So now I've got my protein. I've got 2 carbs that are 0 points for me. I've added back 2.5 to 3 points in non-starchy veggies. So I just added some real cheese. And if I want to, you could do taco shells. You could do real sour cream if you wanted to do that. You could do any of that because you just added back points to it. So hashtag bulking it up is for bulking it up. It's for making you full. It's for making you feel fuller. A lot of the thing, Debbie's exactly right. A lot of the things that you would use to hashtag bulk something up are full of fiber, and so they're going to fill you up faster. They're going to keep you full longer. They're going to help with other processes in your body that need to, let's just say, process. They're going to, it's going to use up things that you already had in your pantry. It's going to use up some of those summer vegetables. It's going to give you points back if you use a non-starchy veggie in there. Now, I'm going to add, just so that I can try this for y'all, I'm going to add a little bit of this holy guacamole. I currently do not have avocado as a 0 point food for me, but this is really not very many points. But I want to try this before we leave the chat tonight. Let me go grab a fork. I have spoons, but for some reason I did not bring a fork out. So what are some things that you all like to hashtag? Well, we do not have a clean fork in this building. I'm going to have to use a plastic fork. Apparently eating well instead of going to McDonald's this week, instead of letting someone get me McDonald's this week, I have used up all of our clean forks. So I have to use a plastic one. Okay, so a little bit of guacamole, a little bit of meat. Oh my gosh, I can't even get all this on the fork. A little bit of corn, a little bit of cheese. This is ridiculous. I should probably just go ahead and put it on one of the taco shells. A little bit of beans. Ah! I can't even get all this on there. But what are some of your all's favorite ways to bulk it up? I mean, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. And you could, if you had some sour cream, or you could use non-fat plain Greek yogurt. This bite is bigger than I can even get in my mouth. Give me a second. Oh. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. My gosh, I love, woo! I love hashtag bulking it up when it tastes like this. This is absolutely fantastic. All of the flavors are great for me because this is not, and Debbie does the same with egg roll in a bowl. Bulk it up with some extra cabbage. But all of this for me is still going to be under, let's see, because of what I added back in points, all of this is still going to be under 6 points for me. Let's see, right at 6 points for me. Look at this. Look at all this. This is huge. Like, you can't possibly eat this. And so I've got room for some tortillas. I've got points for some chips if I wanted to add some chips. I've got points that I can add the guacamole. So hashtag bulk it up, bulk it up, bulk it up. Tonight was hashtag bulk it up, Taco Tuesday style. We will talk next week about another way to hashtag bulk it up. And I'm sorry, I love refried beans. Okay, this is so yummy, so delicious. I hope that you all will try it. Next week, we're going to talk about another way to hashtag bulk something up. You could do this as a breakfast one. I just realized that. You know what? That with some scrambled eggs as the protein. Whoa, would that not be awesome? So I hope you all throw out some ideas to use for this, some things, what you would like to see in your taco bowl, in your Taco Tuesday bowl. But I'm going to suggest that you pick a protein, pick a carb, pick two or more 0-point foods, and then pick at least 2 cups of non-starchy veggies, and you will have the perfect bulk it up bowl. So I hope you all enjoyed tonight. I cannot wait to dig into this because it is going to be so yummy. But if you're watching this on YouTube, please let that roll over. Go ahead and let the next video roll over. I promise you'll enjoy it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and click that button to subscribe. Oh, and I wanted to show you all Dusty's hair real quick. Real quick. Everybody. Of course, he thinks he's going to eat some of what we just talked about. Oh, but Dusty got a new haircut. Look how beautiful and handsome that he looks. And he's like, oh, look. Oh, yeah, Barbara Onion would be good in that. But Dusty's like, oh, look, mother's going to feed me some of that. No, I'm not going to. But y'all have a great week. I enjoyed it again. Thank you all for letting me share this and for letting me enjoy my, my yummy dinner. But I will see you all next time. Have a great week. Good night.